Assessing community-based programs. Sounds simple enough, right? Just slap a grade on those feel-good initiatives and call it a day. Well, my optimistic friends, if only it were that easy. Assessing a community-based program can be complex and challenging due to several inherent issues. It's like trying to herd cats. If those cats were government funding applications and the herding device was a set of vague, constantly shifting metrics. Let's dive into the top 3 problems typically encountered. First up, we've got data collection and reliability. You see, folks, in an ideal world, we'd have pristine data, neatly organized, readily available, just begging to be analyzed. Think of it like this: a beautiful, perfectly ripe avocado just waiting to be spread on some artisanal toast. But the reality is often more like finding a moldy grapefruit at the bottom of your produce drawer. The truth is, data on community programs can be as inconsistent as a politician's campaign promises. We're talking missing data points, incomplete records, and let's not forget the dreaded "we used to track that, but then Bob from accounting moved his stapler and now no one knows where it is" situation. And even if by some miracle you manage to wrangle all the data you need, there's the issue of bias. See, the way data is collected can be as subjective as a Yelp review from someone who got cut off in the parking lot. Self-reported data, while valuable, can be influenced by a participant's desire to please, or conversely, their desire to stick it to the man. And let's not forget the researchers themselves, who, despite their best intentions, can bring their own preconceived notions to the table. It's like that time I tried to bake a cake while convinced I had invented a revolutionary new frosting technique. Spoiler alert, I hadn't. The cake was a disaster. Don't even ask about the frosting. Next, we're venturing into the often treacherous terrain of measuring impact. Now, you might be thinking, Vinesh, darling, just see if the program achieved its goals. Easy peasy. But my eager student, it's rarely that straightforward. Attributing specific changes directly to a program is like trying to claim credit for the sunrise. Sure, you might have been present, but did you actually do anything? Community programs operate within a complex ecosystem of other programs, policies, and yes, even the occasional act of God. It's like that time I tried to teach my dog to fetch by throwing a tennis ball, only to have a squirrel snatch it mid-air. Was it my fault the dog didn't learn to fetch? Was it the squirrels? We may never know, and if disentangling the program's impact from all the other variables wasn't tricky enough, we also have the issue of time. Meaningful change takes time. Remember Rome? They didn't build that empire in a day, and neither will a community garden solve food insecurity overnight. We're talking months, years, sometimes even decades to see the full impact of a program. Chapter 3, Stakeholder Involvement. It's like a family reunion, but with more spreadsheets. Finally, we arrive at the thrilling world of stakeholder involvement. Now, stakeholders, in case you're unfamiliar with the term, are basically anyone who has a vested interest in the program. Think of it like a giant potluck dinner, except instead of potato salad and questionable casseroles, everyone's bringing their own opinions, priorities, and, let's be honest, agendas. You've got your funders who want to see a return on their investment, which, fair enough, they're not just handing out cash for fun, though let's be honest, that would be delightful. Then you've got program staff who are often juggling multiple responsibilities, and let's face it, filling out evaluation forms is probably not at the top of their to-do list. And last, but certainly not least, we have the community members themselves, the stars of our show, who may have differing views on what success looks like and how it should be measured. Keeping everyone on the same page can feel like trying to herd a pack of squirrels high on caffeine. It's chaotic, unpredictable, and frankly, adorable to watch from a distance. So what have we learned? Hopefully more than my dog did about fetching. Addressing these challenges requires a well-thought-out approach that combines methodological rigor with sensitivity to the community's unique context. Look, we're not going to solve these problems by throwing more data at them or by pretending that bias doesn't exist. It's about being mindful of the limitations, being transparent about the challenges, and working collaboratively with all those involved. Engaging community members in the planning and implementation of the assessment using mixed methods for data collection and being transparent about the limitations of the assessment can help mitigate some of these issues. In the end, Assessing community programs isn't about finding the perfect answer or assigning blame. It's about understanding the nuances, acknowledging the complexities, and ultimately using the information we gather to make programs better, more effective, and more responsive to the needs of the communities they serve. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, we might even learn a thing or two about ourselves along the way. Though, if we're being honest, I'm still holding out hope for that revolutionary frosting technique.